welcome to yet another edition of Market Masterclass on Money9, India's first multilingual platform for personal finance from TV9 News Network. I'm Sakshi Batra, and joining us on this special edition is a special guest today, Mr. Avinash Gorakshakar, Director, Research Profit Mart Securities, joins in to share his key insights on where are the markets really headed from here on. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Mr. Gorakshakar, for joining in. I wish to understand by you, like, first things first, of course, the markets have been in a volatile trading session today as well as in the last week as well. But I wish to understand from you, a month back, the mood of the markets was completely different. It was quite bullish. Even the market, even the companies with not such sound fundamentals, even they were in high demand as well. But now after, say, two big sell-offs, one say in January and one in the end of February and in the current week as well, the market of the mood of the markets has somehow turned cautious. So how are you looking at the markets currently?
If you remember that last year, 24th March, we had the lockdown and the markets were in a very volatile territory. In fact, once the lockdown last year was announced, we saw a big sell-off. So I would believe that, March is a month where possibly history is getting repeated. We may not have that kind of a lockdown, but I think the biggest fear the market is now fearing is that if COVID cases continue to rise relentlessly, then I think it's a matter of concern. Already Maharashtra has put in some, kind of stiffer rules for entering, shopping malls, that you have to have a COVID certificate, plus entertainment malls, plus, hotels, they are operating at 50% capacity. So my sense is that this is definitely not a good sign for the markets. Markets are fearing that if at all COVID cases continue to rise, then we could see lower levels. In fact, 14,500 level was also broken today. Thereafter, there was some buying again, which resumed back. So I think we will continue to remain volatile at least for the next few weeks, depending on how the COVID cases perform. But I think broadly, one has to be prepared for a little more volatility in the coming weeks. So I would not be surprised that we may even see 14,000 or 14,100. But yes, I think it's going to be a very close range. And my sense is it's very difficult to predict how the scenario emerges. But that is exactly what has happened in the month of March. So I think it's better that we just keep glued on current developments and then take a call accordingly.
Absolutely, and you've hit the nail on the head. I wanted to ask you this as well, that, it's somehow a troika of the rising bond yields on the one hand, the rising dollar index, and of course, domestically, the rising COVID-19 cases, all of them turning into uncertainty for the markets right now. And just like how you said that, it's somehow difficult to predict where the markets and the trajectory will be from here on. But your sense of how long will it take for the markets to really take a momentum or take the direction of some momentum going on from here? Will it be the Q4 numbers maybe that could provide the next big trigger for the markets?
I think, Sakshi, quarter four numbers for most of the corporates across sectors we track, I think are going to do extremely well. There is no doubt about it. But I think the bigger concern, as you rightly mentioned, is that if COVID cases continue to rise in very high numbers and possibly bond yields continue to rise. Of course, crude has relatively cooled off in the last couple of days. So I think these will be key macro data points which the markets would like to hear from the management commentaries in Q4 numbers. In fact, Q4 numbers would not be important, but the quality of the commentary, the guidance would be very important. And if at all COVID doesn't stop here, then I think you could see a lot of problems for most of the manufacturing sectors which cannot do activities from work from home, especially hotels, the retail business, the entertainment business, the airline business. So I think markets should possibly look at these data points as a turning point. And that time, I think we could possibly get a greater sense as what this market will be, doing in the next couple of quarters.
So मिस्टर गोरक्षाकर, आपसे अगर पूछें कि इस समय इन्वेस्टर्स को क्या करना चाहिए, क्या अभी जहां पर वो निवेशित हैं, जिन स्टॉक्स में वो निवेशित हैं, क्या वहीं उनको रहना चाहिए, या फिर अभी समय आ चुका है मे बी कुछ कैश लेने के लिए या रेस करने के लिए 25% या 30% तक के हिसाब से?
आई थिंक मैं समझता हूँ कि जिन निवेशकों का अच्छा मुनाफा बना है, करीबन 100% का इसका से ज़्यादा भी इन्होंने प्रॉफिट गेन्स बनाए हैं, वहाँ पे कम से कम 25-30% आप मुनाफा वसूल करिए। लेकिन अगर आपका 20-25% ही स्टॉक बढ़ा है तो कोई जल्दबाजी ना करिए, क्योंकि अगर आपने कंपनी अच्छी सिलेक्ट की है तो मुझे लग रहा है कि डेफिनेटली जो अच्छी स्ट्रॉन्ग प्रॉफिटेबल कंपनीज है वहाँ पे ग्रोथ नंबर्स कंटिन्यू होंगे। लेकिन डेफिनेटली जिनका मुनाफा काफ़ी सिग्निफिकेंट है उनको थोड़ा बहुत मुनाफा वसूल करना चाहिए।
ओके, आपसे ये भी जानना चाहेंगे कि इन करेक्शंस को, जैसे हमने अभी बात करी कि जनवरी के लास्ट वीक में हमें थोड़ा करेक्शन देखने को मिला था, सेम वाज द केस इन फरवरी आल्सो, और अभी हम मार्च के सेकेंड हाफ में हैं और यहाँ पर भी इस तरीके का करेक्शन हमें देखने को मिला है। तो क्या इन सभी करेक्शन फेजेस को आप एक ब्लिप की तरह देख रहे हैं, या इन्वेस्टर्स को भी इसी तरीके से देखना चाहिए, क्योंकि हो सकता है अगले 6 महीने साल भर बाद हमें ये लगे कि ये एक स्प्रिंग बाइंग अपॉर्चुनिटीज थी जहां पर हमें खरीदारी करनी चाहिए थी।
नहीं, बिल्कुल साक्षी, मुझे लग रहा है कि सबसे ज़्यादा पैसा इन्वेस्टर तभी कमाता है जब मार्केट्स थोड़ा-सा कमज़ोर होता है। और यहाँ पे निवेशकों को सिर्फ़ एक ही बात ध्यान में रखनी है कि क्वालिटी कंपनीज़ लार्ज कैप में, मिड कैप में जो अभी अवेलेबल है अक्रॉस सेक्टर्स है, वहाँ पे निवेशित रहे। मुझे लग रहा है अगर किसी को 2-3 साल का पोर्टफोलियो बनाना है, तो डेफ़िनेटली ऐसा नहीं है कि पैसा इन्वेस्ट नहीं करना है, थोड़ा-थोड़ा पैसा ज़रूर इन्वेस्ट करिए, एसआईपी के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से लमसम से नहीं। और मुझे लग रहा है कि 2-3 साल का नज़रिया आप रखते हो, तो ये कोविड का जो प्रॉब्लम है वो तो निकल जाएगा, लेकिन जो निवेशक अभी एंटर करेंगे उसको उनको रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट काफी अच्छा मिलेगा। तो डेफिनेटली स्लो एंड स्टेडी, बट डेफिनेटली यू शुड रिमेन इन्वेस्टेड इन द मार्केट्स।
ओके, स्लो एंड स्टेडी बट रिमेन इन्वेस्टेड इन द मार्केट्स। ये भी कई एक्सपर्ट्स हमसे बातचीत कर रहे हैं मनी नाइन पर और बोल रहे हैं कि परहैप्स ये ऐसा समय है जब डाइवर्सिफाइड पोर्टफोलियो बनाने का एक अच्छा मौका हो सकता है, और साथ ही एक बॉटम अप अप्रोच के साथ इन्वेस्टर्स को स्टॉक सिलेक्ट करना चाहिए। तो क्या आपका भी यही व्यू है? और साथ ही आपसे जानना चाहेंगे, अगर आप हमारे व्यूअर्स को एक्सप्लेन कर पाएं कि बॉटम अप्रोच होता क्या है और क्या वो इस समय सही रणनीति होगी।
पहली बात तो बॉटम अप अप्रोच अगर मैं कहूँ तो वो बेसिकली माइक्रोस्कोपिक अप्रोच होता है कि दो तरीके के अप्रोच होते हैं। आप इंडस्ट्री को पढ़ते हो, उसके बाद एनालाइज करते हो और उसके बाद आप कंपनीज उसमें से निवेशक करते हो, तो उसको टॉप डाउन अप्रोच बोलते हैं। बॉटम अप अप्रोच ऐसा होता है कि हम सेक्टर को नहीं देखते, हम सिर्फ कंपनी के फाइनेंशियल्स को देखते हैं, उसकी कंपनीज के बिजनेस मॉडल को देखते हैं, प्रोडक्ट को देखते हैं, फाइनेंशियल परफॉर्मेंस देखते हैं और फिर डिसाइड करते हैं इन्वेस्ट करना है नहीं। तो इसको बॉटम अप अप्रोच बोलते हैं। और बॉटम अप अप्रोच में हम समझते हैं कि ज्यादा इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज निवेशकों को मिलती है, क्योंकि इंडस्ट्री को पढ़ना समझना एक बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स बात होती है। तो ये रहा डेफिनेशन बॉटम अप अप्रोच का। रही बात डाइवर्सिफिकेशन की पोर्टफोलियो की, तो हम समझते हैं कि जिन निवेशकों ने इक्विटी काफी अपने पोर्टफोलियो में इंक्लूड की है, थोड़ा सा डेट का भी एक पोर्शन इंक्लूड करे। हम अभी भी गोल्ड के ऊपर इतने पॉजिटिव नहीं है, तो हो सकता है कि अगर जिन्होंने इक्विटी प्योरली इक्विटी पोर्टफोलियो बनाए, थोड़ा सा डेट के लिए जगह बनाए, लेकिन हम समझते हैं जिनके पास इक्विटी बिल्कुल नहीं है और बहुत कम है, उनको डेफिनेटली अपने पोर्टफोलियो में इक्विटी का पोर्शन इंक्रीज करना चाहिए, क्योंकि मुझे नहीं लग रहा है कि कोई बड़ी मंदी मार्केट्स में आएगी। ये कोविड का जो डेवलपमेंट है, ये ऑब्वियसली वैक्सीनेशन जितना जल्दी होगा उतना मेरे ख्याल से मार्केट्स को कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा। तो मेरे ख्याल से ओवरऑल कीप अ डाइवर्सिफाइड पोर्टफोलियो, बट ऑब्वियसली कीप द फोकस मोर ऑन इक्विटी।
All right. And what would you suggest on the rush of IPOs that we are seeing, sir? Especially, there's a whole lot of interest in the investors, among the investors, with respect to this one after the other, the IPOs that we have seen already. About 14, 15 IPOs have hit the street as far as 2021 is concerned. Some 16, 17,000 odd crore rupees have been raised as well. And for every IPO, there's a whole lot. We are seeing so many subscriptions happen, over subscriptions happening. How are you looking at this, and what is your advice to the investors with respect to the IPO buzz?
Swati, I think frankly, making money in IPOs is extremely difficult. There are very, very few companies which have made money for investors. A classic example has been DMart, which came at a very low IPO price and then it made history. But if you look at the current set of IPOs, my guess is that most of the IPOs are very richly valued, and there is a lot of froth in the market as far as IPO, size is concerned and the flow of money is concerned. So typically, if somebody wants to make long-term investment, then I think it's better that they avoid the IPO route. Somebody wanting quick listing gains can obviously apply, because nowadays people look at a lot of parameters and decide to invest purely based on the listing gains. But if you look at history, I think very few investors have made money purely from IPOs. A classic example has been, some companies 6 months back came with a very aggressive IPO price, and now it's quoting with an IPO price. So I think you have to be a little careful, and I think there's no need to hurry. You could get a quality company at a IPO below price, and that could possibly give you a better return. So I think you have to be very selective, and I wouldn't advise anybody to actually apply for long term on the IPO route, because most of the valuations are on the higher side.
Okay, understood. That's a point well taken. And lastly, I want to ask you, how would you advise the new investors looking to create a long-term portfolio today? So how should that person really move ahead in the current market scenario? What should go in the portfolio basket? What should stay out?
No, I think somebody who wants to build a portfolio and who's entered the market very recently, my advice to them is that don't look at the index at all. Please look at companies and start building a portfolio of well managed quality companies, both from the Nifty basket, from the Sensex basket, from the NSE 200 basket. There are many good companies which are available, and I think you've got to keep a 2 to 3 year time frame. I think money will definitely be made. But most importantly, investors who are not very high on the risk quotient, they could possibly look at mutual funds or they could look at ETFs like Nifty Bees, where possibly over the next 2 to 3 years they could easily cover inflation and make a decent return. So I think it all depends on the risk appetite, Sakshi.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Gorakshakar, for speaking to us and sharing your key insights on the markets and how should investors today looking out to create a portfolio can step ahead and create a wealth-creating portfolio, wealth-generating portfolio as well. Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to speak to you on Money9 and hope to catch you soon again on another edition of Market Masterclass as well. With that, we wrap up this edition. A whole lot more is coming up, so stay tuned with us on Money9.